Hello everybody, welcome into Ghost Racing Network here tonight, back with the Tuesday Night Thunder Series here in Season 2. Race 4, going to be a good one. We had an off week last week, so you know these guys are hungry to get back into the action. Joining me tonight, fellow broadcaster Jacob Emery, and he's excited for it too. How we doing tonight, Jacob? Well, we know that you were broadcasting the first two races of the series, so you certainly have some experience. Going to need all of it tonight as these guys have been getting wild. Let's get right down to it here. Starting out on the pole is going to be Sean Hill, John Ellis Jr. to his outside in second. Jeff Merck and Matthew Baker, a couple of teammates, going to be making up a row 2 with David Sheets and his teammate Ken McCall Jr. rounding out row 3. Cody Nagel starts in 7th. It's going to be Matt Lee in 8th, John Mullahan 9th, and Jason Maines rounding out your top 10. Brandon Broadfoot starts 11th tonight. He has fan favorite Ambrose Knievel to his outside in 12th. David Drohan and Danny Barnes making up row 7. Daniel Eberhardt, Dylan Jones 15th and 16th. John Ward in 17th with Brock Westmoreland to his outside in 18th. Going to be Andrew Zonto in 19th. Christopher McCall rounding out your top 20 here tonight. Logan York, Ryan Baste make up row 11, and the last row on the field tonight is going to be row 12. That's made up by Mark Vondell and Gabe Butler riding solo tonight. Doesn't have any teammates, so we'll see how he finds a way to get this thing together. Taking a look here at the track info, if you will. You know where we're at. We're not going to go over that. Talladega, pretty usual there. 2.65 mile oval, but weather outside, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 0% humidity, partly cloudy skies, winds at a mile an hour. That's not going to hurt these guys at all. Now the track temp, pretty toasty there. In fact, over 100, almost 130 degrees here. Race 4 in the Truck Series. 60 laps tonight at 100% fuel, unlimited tires, one faster pair of fixed setups as always, and there is going to be that stage break at lap 20, and that does offer some points, so while no payout, guys are still going to be racing to it. Now, I do want to say, you might be wondering why you might have saw the Xfinity logo in pre-race, but now you're seeing us in the Truck Series. Well, we're planning on being in the Truck Series, I believe, for this week and either next week or maybe one more week after that, and then we will head back to the Xfinity Series for the rest of the season. All right, Jacob, getting ready to go here. You got anybody that you're keeping your eye on here?
Sean Hill in that 77 from Georgia. He's that Chevy truck. He got the pole. Looking fast out here early on. So one got to look out for, first and foremost, Sean Hill. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. Hasn't been around in just a couple races, and NBG and McCall Motorsports, they got a little bit of a rivalry going on right now, so I'm sure we're going to see these guys getting into it, looking for the green flag for the first time here tonight at Talladega, and they're going to get it. We are racing here in race 4 of the Tuesday Night Thunder Series. Good even start here as we dive down into turn 1 for the first time. We'll see how aggressive, a little bit of a smaller field, at least compared to what we saw last broadcast that we were here. And NBG, I think they're going to look to get all the teammates either lined up or filling up both lines. But as they race down the backstretch, this first lap, no 3 wide just yet. Everybody staying nice and civil.
Hey, I'll tell you what, 25 trucks even tonight, and that's big payouts. Number 1 driver tonight getting that win is going to get $100. Second place is going to get $100. Third place is going to get $75. Fourth, $60. Fifth, $40. So a lot of money on the line. Sean Hill out front first. Now looks like he's still running up front. John Jr., Jeff Merck, and that's 60. He's in third. Outside lane is now working. Let's see if they go 3 wide early. You said it was a small field, not as big as we saw last Tuesday. Well, let's see what these trucks can do.
And I want to bring up the payouts you just talked about. The payout's pretty sweet in themselves tonight, but don't forget, these guys are also in that points battle. At the end of the regular season, we're going to crown a champion, and that is going to be worth a lot of money. I believe last season was $500 for the champion, and then, of course, the championship race purse is going to be huge prizes, well over maybe $2,000 as we got one truck off in the back. Might have been Ryan Bass. Sure enough, it was in the 73 machine. He's going to tuck back in line at the back of the pack behind Mark Vondell. No more incident there. They stay green up front. Matt Lee now pushing Ken McCall Jr. These two kind of got into it in the Discord just the last, I believe it was the last FEG race that we had. Sure enough, a little bit of disagreement. We'll see how well they can get along here tonight. And Ken McCall Jr. is going to drop right down to the bottom in front of Matthew Baker. He's got a couple teammates in the field tonight. You see David Sheets, John Mullahan up there as well. Last 2 trucks in the outside line in this front pack. But, you know, I'm surprised with as small of a pack as it is that we're kind of seeing this breakup.
Yeah, early on, a little bit of breakup there as we're seeing Matthew Baker jump up top. He's going to go and try to make a run on the outside as he is. Kenneth Jr. now in second. Good run so far. Looks like they're a little bit tighter up top. the 5 and the 9, the 19 working together well as he jumps right back down. Matthew Lee right there, or actually, excuse me, Matthew Baker.
Big run here for the inside, but how long is it going to last? Matt Lee, fair to note, is another one of those NBG Motorsports teammates. So they are now leading the way just as planned. Now they're looking to get Jeff Merck and Sean Hill, who started on your pole, falling back a couple positions here just outside the top 5. Oh, that was a big wiggle for Matthew Baker. He is going to hold on, but man, he looked really uncomfortable coming across the line there, getting the push from Ken McCall Jr. Now, we knew that this new draft package, well, we keep saying new, it's starting to get a little bit more broken in now, but guys are still experimenting with it, and out of the gate, it felt like you could push anywhere and everywhere, and the trucks didn't even move. Now, you still can push just about anywhere and everywhere, but the truck's a little bit harder to handle, and we're starting to see a couple guys struggle with it. Here's a move. Jeff Merck, Sean Hill to the top line. They're going to need some help.
Yeah, we knew Jeff Merck was going to make a run up top there to make it 3 wide, as he does. Number 5, Matthew Baker in the middle now. Maybe he makes a block. No, he doesn't. Third lane is starting to roll as he's getting a little bit of help by the 22.
Going to be coming to lap 5 here. That's going to put us with 16 to go here in the stage. And just like that, the 3-wide racing is fast and it is chaotic here early. The third line, somebody being a little bit more aggressive, and no surprise to find out that it's Brandon Broadfoot. Another one of those drivers, you really feel like he's due for a win. He does everything right each and every week. Seems like he just cannot catch the break that he needs. Now, just ahead of him, middle line, Danny Barnes, one of the new additions to Team PGR. I believe he is on Team PGR. You see him rocking the paint scheme. I guess this is a good time to note that we're still working out some things on the broadcast. You can probably see it there, your tower not quite up to par tonight. I set up the overlay, and it turned out I did not have what I worked on last week saved. So I had to kind of put it together a little bit more last minute than I wanted to. But next week we will have everything sorted out. We will have the teammates all showing on their driver cards, and we will be ready to rock this thing for the rest of the season. Daniel Everhart, he's making his way through the field. He's another fun one to watch.
Hey, I got to tell you what, 6 laps down, and it's been a clean race so far. Last week and a couple weeks before that, they were struggling, and you were talking about it on the trucks. They changed some things to these trucks, and it seemed like it was really easy to push. It seemed like it was easy to drive, but it turns out it's not as easy as these drivers thought. But tonight, they're doing a great job side by side up front. That third line kind of went away as we have 2 groups building up now. Some guys dropping back. 6 lap down, no cautions.
Yeah, I think sometimes maybe what you need as a driver, all these guys rather need as drivers, is just a smaller field for a race or two. The smaller fields don't take away the great racing. In my opinion, they always made it better because, you know, guys are going to be just as aggressive. But that chance of wrecking, in my opinion, always kind of diminishes a little bit. And we're seeing that so far here tonight. David Sheets has gotten lined up with his teammates. John Mulham behind him and Ken McCall Jr. just in front of him. And those 3 would like to shuffle Matthew Baker to the top to give them all the lead on the bottom.
Yeah, we're looking at a lot of movement up there in front. Jeff Merck holding everybody off on the inside lane. Pretty cool to see Matthew Baker as well as Jeff runs up there in the 60. He's in front of the 5, jumps back to the middle in front of the 9 now. Third lane making a move on the outside.
Boy, he's getting a little adventurous there now, isn't he, Jacob? Up, down, middle. Each lane he had to get a feel for which one he likes best. He's going to choose that middle line with his teammate Matt Lee. And I think this is all part of the plan, still trying to keep as many NBG trucks towards the front as possible. But now we're going to see a charge from the Mains boys. John Ellis Jr. on the outside. He's got Jason Mains in tow. There's Cody Nagels just behind those 2. Looks like Logan York is in the mix. And those separation of packs, if you will, we're seeing them start to tighten up. You see this little 5-truck group that's all single file. It's some McCall Motorsports boys, and then Andrew Zonto and Ambrose Knievel. They're all trying to catch up as well. And we got, looks like 2 or 3 trucks right now, including Ryan Baste and Gabe Butler. They're nowhere near these lead packs. In fact, one of them might be in danger of going a lap down. They just did. It looks like that is going to be Brock Westmoreland. No, excuse me. Not in danger of going a lap down right now. He's the last car on that pack. But Gabe Butler, he might be in danger sooner or later. Not sure if he missed the start, but you see the pack coming up on him there as he exits 4th.
Yeah, take a look at that. And I'll tell you what, Jeff Merck, and I believe it was John Ellis, got in some contact. They kept it clean, and they're still racing. But, man, that was a close call as they are trying to jockey to get to the front. And we've got third lane now making another move. 9 laps down as we're looking at the number 9 of Matthew Lee on the outside. 24 trying to push him up to the front. That's Cody Nagels.
And if they can't sort it out right here, then they're going to have to find a way to go 4 wide. Never mind, Gabe Butler's going to go ahead and drop below. Be very respectful to all these guys. You got to like that move from the 88 to just stay down. Doesn't want to put anybody in any trouble here early. Danny Barnes falling back just a little bit. 5th truck on the inside, but Jeff Merck, big surge of momentum here, but we're still seeing a lot of lead changes, and we're still seeing guys shuffling lanes. A lot of times we'll see him get up into one of those top 2 lanes and just stay there. But Jason Maines, John Ellis Jr., they hopped back down to the middle. Matt Lee found his way up top. But Matthew Baker and Ken McCall Jr., both of them, they've been making this bottom line work a lot better than what we have seen in recent races, where it seems like once they get 3 wide, that 3rd line has the most momentum, and the inside just kind of fades away after a couple laps.
Yeah, they're making good calls so far. Not a whole lot of blocking, and they're making the lanes work. I think last week we had a lot of blocking that caused some wrecks, and people weren't patient. Tonight, I think they're doing just a great job figuring this track out early. It's Talladega. It's an easy track to drive, but then again, it's not, because you have to make the right moves. If you're not clear, you're going to cause a big one. They do have 1 fast repair, so keep that in mind. But once that's gone, you get some damage on that truck, and you are done for the day, especially if you hit the front. Those RPMs, you damage the motor, you're out of the money, and you're going to park it. So right now, we've got 10 laps down, it looks like, and we are still green as we're 3 wide. That number 60 out front, Jeff Merck, now drops down. 24 of Cody Niegels on the outside. Looks like he's trying to make a move. 21 of John Ellis Jr. still in the middle, getting pushed. Looks like by that 22.
Some of your biggest movers just over halfway through stage 1 here are going to be Logan York, currently in 4th position, up 16 spots from where he started. Jeff Merck's up 2 from where he started. Matt Lee as well. He is up a handful of positions. A couple guys going in the wrong direction. Ambrose Kniebel down 10 from where he started. He sits at the back of this pack. Actually, the back of kind of the 2nd pack that's still hanging around in the draft. Now, you see Gabe Butler. He is the only truck a lap down right now. He's riding on the outside in that 88 truck at the back of the pack. As long as he can hold on to this draft and avoid any potential chaos, just make it to the stage break, he will be able to get that lap back. Shouldn't have to fight anybody for it. But up front, they're starting to get a little bit more and more racy by each lap. 2 teammates on the outside, and Cody Nagels and Sean Hill, they're ready to go to the front. Logan York looks like he thought a couple times about maybe jumping out to join him, but he is going to stay right tucked up behind John Ellis Jr.'s bumper. And Matt Lee and Jeff Merck on the bottom now, as Matthew Baker fell all the way to the back of this line on the bottom, and McCall Motorsports, they've moved up a line now, and I think they're going to look to see if they can get some teammates together and regroup, try to make a run up in that 3rd line if it ends up fading away.
Yeah, talk about drivers falling in the back. We've got one driver that's moving up quick. He started 21st, is now in 3rd, and that's that number 2 of Logan York. Hey, he's in that Ford from California. He's making a move early on. He wants to get to that money as we have a stage break at 20 laps. Don't forget about that. The caution will come out, and they will get in the pits, and we'll re-rack them. But right now, no caution so far. We are green, 13 laps down. And Matthew Lee is up front in that number 9 from New England.
And, you know, I noted how Gabe Butler wasn't going to have to battle anybody for the Lucky Dog, but it's looking like now he might have to, because unfortunately for him, Ryan Baste, it looks like just went a lap down as well. At least from our scoring right now, it's showing him only 1 lap down. I wasn't sure initially if that was his 2nd, but I do believe it is his 1st. The 73 machine for Clutch Gaming Team not having the best night so far, but again, if he can find a way to catch this draft, get back up in front of the 88, grab a caution here, he could very well be right back in this thing.
Yeah, you got to get those lucky dogs. You follow back 2 laps, 3 laps early on. It's really tough as they're getting sideways. One truck on the inside gets loose. No caution yet, still green.
That looked like Jeff Merck, and that's going to be a detrimental hit to the front end unless he somehow found a way to save this, but he didn't yet. Jacob, that thing is destroyed. Heavy front end damages. He's rolling slow on the front stretch, and yeah, no caution. This is really going to hurt the 60.
Yeah, that's tough to come back from that one. He is going to have to get towed back to the pits as they're getting a little loose up front again. But like I said, caution. No caution. 24 is getting spun.
Oh, man. Now Cody Nagels hits the inside wall, and all of a sudden what was such a calm race early is starting to get a little chaotic here. Haven't had a chance to take a look at any of these because it's still chaotic. Now Brandon Bromfoot gets some contact from the front bumper of Sean Hill. He's trying to save it up into Ken McCall Jr. There it is.
A big wreck.
And you kind of saw that coming. They were only going to be able to hold on to it for so long. Started about a lap ago and gets finished out of turn 4.
Man, I'll tell you what. Those drivers that got spun and pushed away and it was still green, they just got a gift, because now the caution comes out. They can get their fast repair comeback on the track, and I don't even think they lose a lap.
And David Sheets, Andrew Zonto, and Matt Lee, the 3 trucks that were piled up there down the short chute coming into the tri-oval. Let's go back and take a look at this first incident, which had involved Jeff Merck. He got the worst, I think, out of everybody in all these wrecks. And I think he's just going to get turned here. It was kind of weird. It seemed like once they got crazy, nobody was willing to settle down and reorganize things before they got right back to business. Taking a look here from the chopper cam. Yeah, it's looking like, at least from this view, he's just going to get a little bit of an offset push. You see he was up maybe about half a line. Those are 2 teammates, but that's not what it looks like actually turns him. It almost looks like when Logan York in the 02 comes down, there was maybe a little net code here. Yeah, sure enough, that's what it was. The 02, a little bit of net code between him and the 60. That turns him up into the side of John Ellis Jr. Back down the track he goes. And that inside wall comes up fast. And, man, that is a huge hit. We know he's going to take a fast repair for sure.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that net code came out, because we've been dealing with that at Talladega in the Cup cars. We've seen it in the Xfinity cars. It tends to happen, and unfortunately, when it does, it causes some damage for these drivers, and it's sometimes unintentional. But right now, we're going to take another look at is it just got sideways.
And this is the second spin here from Cody Nagels, and this one was an odd look. It just looked like Cody was maybe running about half a lane up. They were still trying to get things sorted out from when Jeff Merck had spun. And John Mullahan gets a big run here. Does he go below the yellow here? Maybe a little bit, but he was getting pushed really hard from Eberhardt, and then not sure if Eberhardt knew that he was there, but it seemed like Mullahan wasn't able to check up because of that push maybe. And then once he gets into Cody, Cody goes for a slide into the inside wall. And then what actually is going to finally bring out the yellow here is going to be all the way on the front stretch. So we'll go up to that now, where David Sheets and a couple other guys kind of got, I guess you could say, clustered together, if you will. Here we go. This was out of turn 4. And we'll look at this from the TV follow cam. Yeah, just maybe another guy getting turned. Man, a lot of guys getting turned throughout that incident.
I'll tell you what, that's a lot of action on that lap. There's 3 different wrecks going on, and finally the last one here brought out the caution. But man, oh man, yeah, crazy to see early here. I mean, no cautions, but right now, hey, good racing. It happens. It's Talladega. What do you expect? These guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, we were closing in on that stage break, so you kind of expected the racing to pick up, and it sure did. They'd almost went 4 wide at this point, and something had to give. It looked like the 06 of Andrew Zonto maybe just came down a little bit, and unfortunately when the trucks are running as close as they are here at Talladega, that doesn't always work out too well. Now up front, Sean Hill for NBG Motorsports leading the way in the 77. Brandon Broadfoot having a good run here early, up 9 from where he started in 2nd. John Ellis Jr. in 3rd, Ken McCall Jr. 4th, and Matthew Baker rounding out your top 5. Daniel Eberhardt 6th place, Jason Main 7th, Christopher McCall 8th, John Mullahan 9th, and Mark Vondell in your top 10. And Cody's always wanted to speak, Jacob, and well, hold on just a second. Let me make sure we're not going back green this lap. We're not. I was going to say Cody Nagels is always someone who likes to speak his mind, so let's bring him up here for an interview real quick.
Absolutely.
Hey, Cody, this is Austin and Jacob up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, we just kind of want to add, well, I mean, I guess Merck's in the same boat here, but we're going to interview about it. That was kind of a chaotic sequence. Caution finally came out on the 3rd wreck, but kind of break us down. What all happened there from start to finish with those 3 segments of wrecks all in one lap?
Man, I really don't know what happened, I guess, with the last couple, really, because at that point I was spun, but I tried to ask for an explanation from Mullahan as to why he went below the apron and decided to left hook me, and nothing. So it's typical. I don't expect any different from him.
Yeah, going to be starting at a little bit more towards the back here. Still a lot of time. Do you try to get back up there and go for it for the stage here, or do you play it conservative and flip the track position for the end of the race?
Well, let's see. We'll see how they do it on the restart. If I get a chance to go up front, I'm going to go for it.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll be keeping an eye on it. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Sure, you join.
And that was Cody Nagels.
Cody Nagels?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I might have confused you there a little bit, Jacob. We were getting a quick interview there from Cody Nagels, and they weren't in the Discord here, so I'd hopped over for just a second. But we got an interview from him, and tell you what, he had some words to say there. He felt like John Mullihan just kind of hooked him and said he didn't get any response when he asked about what happened. So we might have some tempers here.
Yeah, I thought I was still live for a second, but you did hop over to the other Discord. That might have overlaid, I'm not sure, but if it did, so be it. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. Whatever you had to say, feel free to say it again, as we didn't pick up anything you said while we were over there.
No, I was just saying, man, Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series here. I was telling everybody, anybody can join this, so just join the Discord for Ron Morris. It's $25 to enter, and it doesn't matter on iRating. It doesn't matter on any of that. Just join the Discord and come in here and race with these guys. Everyone is welcome. But pace car lights are off, and we are about to go green. Sean Hill in that 77 is in front, and he will take us into turn 1. Brandon Broadfoot in that 22. He's in second. John Ellis Jr. is in third, that 21. Let's see what these guys can do, as Sean Hill on the inside is going to take us away green.
And it's going to be a 3-lap shootout here to decide the stage winner. Again, no payout, but there's extra points on the line, and those points could really matter coming to the end of the season with that big championship prize on the line. Green flag is back in the air. Sean Hill diving down into turn 1. The inside's going to roll very nicely as you see a couple guys hitting the apron. Further back, we still got some guys maybe blinking just a little bit. Logan York was looking 3 wide up top. He's too far back right now to get any help. And this outside's going to make a big charge here. The question is, do they stay committed to Brandon Broadfoot? And he's going to have a decision to make here as Matthew Baker is going to slam the door on the 22. He does decide to make it 3 wide. Try to get risky, but nobody's going to go with him, at least not right now. And that's going to send the 22 all the way to the back.
Man, that's tough to see there. And that's what happens when you don't have help at Talladega. Somebody can push you out of the way. You go 3 wide, you fall all the way to the back, as now we see Matthew Baker making a big push on the outside. And they are going to go 1-2 as they cross the finish line. And we still got a few laps to go. 77 Sean Hill on the inside trying to make that line work. But he doesn't have enough help. He only has 2 trucks behind him as that outside line is tight and making it work.
Dylan Jones, further back of your screen, was looking 3 wide to the top line. We'll see if he can maybe get some takers. One of the really fast guys, and he is going to get one in Cody Nagels. Cody did say to us in the interview that he was ready to get back to the front, and he said if there was an option in doing so, he was going to go for it, and here he is trying to take it. He's going to have one more lap once we come around this time to do so. But as they start to get 3 wide, things start to kind of gridlock up. But the middle line's fading with only 2 trucks. Oh, they're going to go for the same real estate. And contact 5 wide. It's not going to work. And we got our second wreck of the night here.
And I'm not sure that was netcode that time. The truck just came up and caused the big one out front as they went almost 4 wide. Unfortunate. Another caution out here. And I think that's going to be the end of the first stage.
I agree, and we'll have to go back to replay to take a look at who's going to be the winners, as I do believe it goes by at the time of caution. Now, from the initial look, that same incident has actually happened before with Sean Hill and Ken McCall Jr., where both of them going for the lead. One went to go up at the same time to block the middle, and one went to come down to block the middle, and they just come together. But let's go back and take a look at it to see if that's indeed the case. And we got to go all the way back here to Sean Hill. So at this point, hey, we got to see 5 wide tonight. That's something. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the way we wanted to see it here. So let's back it up to where this incident starts. All right, so right here, you're going to see the 77 truck's going to get clear. He's clear of the middle, but so is the 03. Both guys wanting to take it here. And Sean Hill looks like he does make the move first. Got to be honest, it may have been a late block, but he may have been looking to see if the 03 was going to come down. Now, just as he gets about to the middle there, Ken McCall Jr. may have not thought he was coming down, so he's going to go for the middle at the same time, and they just come together and bump doors here, and then they're going to get together a little more. 5 wide now, trying to hold on to it, and then actually, believe it or not, Jacob, it might have been a little net code that actually caused the actual wreck.
Yeah, at the end there, it does look like there's a little bit of net code as they get in contact almost inside each other's trucks, man. It looks like a racing incident. You got the 77 that came up. You got the 03 that tried to come down, and just no room there. Almost made it happen, though.
Yeah, and it looked like maybe it wasn't netcode. There was a little bit of contact, but yeah, I agree about the incident. Definitely a racing incident. That whole accident in itself was a racing incident, but they wrecked for quite a while. Started just about out of turn 4 and doesn't end until about halfway through the trial. Let's take a couple more views of it here, and that's That's a tough break because, like I said, NBG and McCall Motorsports, they weren't too happy with each other, and you got to hope they don't think that this was on purpose because neither team really did anything wrong here. It's just, unfortunately, they all picked the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, I think some words may be being said. I've got my chat off, so I can't hear them talk, but hopefully they go back and watch that replay, and they're not too heated, and we got to go back. Green flag racing, and also a lot of these trucks involved early, like we talked about, these fast repairs. You only get one. So it's going to be interesting to see some of these drivers go back into the pits. If they don't have one, they need to fix all the repairs and get back on the track.
Absolutely. Here's the final view of it. Now watch, you see Sean Hill going up here. This is usually the general view. Not sure how many monitors he has. If he has 3, he might be able to see his side, but at least the monitor I have, this would be all I could see from my point of view, and you can see in that view, you can't really see to the side of you too well, and he, just like I said, may have not known that Ken McCall Jr. was coming down. Ken McCall Jr. may not have known that he was coming up, and the contact ensued. So second caution here of the night. As we go back live, check it out. Actually, let's back that up one more time to show you the stage results. We got to go back all the way to when the caution lights flew, and then we can pause it from there. Not sure if the caution was on. Oh, I do apologize here. OBS is giving me a little bit of a hard time. Give me just a moment. All right, there we go. Sorry about that quick delay here. We're going to back this up. So we're going to go manual way. You see the caution's on at this point. We'll go frame by frame for you here. Just a moment. No caution. Caution's still on. Now here we go. Let's look at the flag cam. Jacob, let me know up here if we're getting ready to go back green, of course, because we don't want to miss it. Trying to figure out who your stage winners were, though.
Yeah, pace car is still on. Lights are on, so we are good to go. As you're looking at that, we're doing 21 laps down. We got to go to 60 laps, so we're getting closer to the end of this race. Stage break at 20. That has just happened. As these guys got 100% fuel, unlimited tires, 1 fast repair.
And here we go. This might give us a good idea from the far chase. Watch the caution light on the top right. I guess I should say more like the right of your screen here. As we go back to full screen, green, green. Still green at that point. We're going to have to go back a little bit further, somebody towards the back of this pack, to find if it was indeed still green or not. Gets a little hard to tell the further back you go here. Still green at this point. They hadn't wrecked just yet. Yeah, man, that's going to be a tough one to tell. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly when the caution came out, but if I had to take a guess, looking from this view, let's see, it's looking like maybe Sean Hill and Daniel Eberhard maybe still out on the outside. That's a really close call. We will have to find out from race control when we get a chance at it. Going back live, though, this time for real, we are going to have one to go, and give us an update on what your top 5's looking like.
Yeah, right now, Kenneth McLaughlin Jr. in the 03, he's in the number 1 spot. Then we got Mark Vondel, the 59, he's in 2nd. John Ward in the 92, he's 3rd. Ambrose in the 04, he's 4th. And David Drohan in the 42, he is in 5th position. As the pace car lights are off, we will go back green flag racing. 2 cars right now, 1 lap down. That's Gabe Butler and the number 23, Alondro. So let's see if they can make it back on the lead lap. Also, Gabe Butler in the 88. He's 1 lap down.
So we're not expecting another caution, at least a scheduled one, for any sort of stage break the rest of the way. But what we could be expecting here very well is a green flag pit stop. We'll have to see. They should only be able to go probably around 30 laps on a full tank of fuel, maybe a couple laps more or less, depending on if you're leading or in the back. But if we get a caution here anywhere, I'd say 8 laps or after from now, they're going to be good to go, and we will run it green the rest of the way. McCall Motorsports make it up row 1. Green flag is back in the air. 22 laps of 60 completed. How about a little crank it up? Tuesday Night Thunder style. Here we go. big wreck. This is going to be the big one for sure here. Turns 1 and 2 during our Crank It Up segment. So we're going to end it early. The 04 of Matt Lee. And it looks like the 59 of Mark Vondel tangled up in this one. Man, the early wrecking is going to continue here. Mark Vondel's truck is totaled. He's hoping he can limp that thing back to the pits. We saw a lot of guys involved. Let's see what happens here. Now, we saw him getting a little crazy there 4 wide through the Tri-Oval just as we kind of got the segment going, and I guess they weren't quite able to get things sorted out. Let's take a look.
Man, Mark in that 59, he was in 23rd, got up there to 5th, and now he's getting some contact here. I believe it's the 9. Oh, 73, big contact.
Now watch this secondary, kind of a secondary incident, if you will. A couple guys are going to get turned head on into the wall. Matt Lee with a big shot, same for Ryan Baste. And then Sean Hill was trying to sneak by on the inside. He's going to get the worst angle here up into the outside wall, almost 90 degrees, just about. Huge hit, and it is going to get up and over for the 77. He flips wildly a couple times here, gets back on all 4 wheels, and there's the rest of the field piling in. Now, couldn't exactly tell from that view. The first view, it looked like contact. Second view, it looked like some net code here. But I think, is the 59 going to come down here? Does the 04 kind of come up? Oh, this was after the contact, so let's back that up a little more. This was once they already hit each other initially, and they're going to do a little ping pong in here. Let's go.
Yeah, if you go back, I think the 9 comes up to the 59, and then they just get loose, and after that, it's just trouble.
Yep, sure enough, the 04 Matt Lee does look like he's coming up a little bit. And then once he gets into Mark Vondel, we'll back it up one more time because I know these guys will get a little mad at me if I put the blame on the wrong driver. But, man, from that view, Mark Vondel does actually look like he's coming down from that perspective, I will say. It's hard. You got to kind of, we're trying to reference the lines here the best we can. And, yeah, it looks like Matt Lee comes up a little bit. Mark Vondel comes down a little bit. Crazy how it looks from the different angles. But I guess from this view that we have here, that's, for the most part, what it looks like. And then Matt Lee's just not quite going to be able to save it as they get 4 wide. And then they all just kind of get piled up and finished up from there. That was a crazy ride, Jacob, for the 77.
Yeah, 77 on his top, getting crazy there. Cautions are out now. The field isn't that big, too, so we may see some drivers go multiple laps down as they go back to the pits to try to get their truck repaired. But I think a few of these have already burned their fast repair, and they might be stuck. They might go multiple laps down and not come back out here and try to win. So we'll see. We will see.
Andrew Zonto being scored as your leader right now. He's running top 5 in points. This could be a good race for him if he could find a way to cap it off with a win. Matthew Baker 2nd. Cody Nagels 3rd. Brandon Broadfoot 4th. Jeff Merck in 5th. John Ellis Jr. 6th. John Ward 7th. David Drohan 8th. Matt Lee in 9th. And 10th place is going to be Ambrose Kniebles. Taking a quick look at the chat. In fact, we had a lot of chats. Should go through some of them real quick. Baker's mom let me know at the beginning of the broadcast that I had actually had you muted during your intro, Jacob. We got it settled for the rest of the race, of course, but apologize for that. Alejandro's in here. Rooting on Ambrose Knievel says, I'm out with a right glute injury, more specifically the wallet. Ron Morse Jr. in here. Of course, not here tonight, but the owner of the series. Good to see you in here, Ron. Heath Job watching as well. Alejandro, smooth rider, says Alex Hild. And Baker's mom says, I would love to hear their fussing. Indeed, that would be a funny one for sure. Looks like Logan York says, how did I not hit Mark? That's a good question, Logan. And, since you're in here watching, we'll go ahead and take a look back for you because we might have missed something a little exciting here. Let's right on board with the cockpit view. This was after he snuck by it, so it's going to be back here. Oh, man, that was a close one. Logan York just able to sneak by on the inside. Oh, my goodness. So going to be getting ready to go back green. Ooh, Andrew Santo is going to peel down the pits because we're going to be getting the one-to-go signal this next time. Again, if you're just tuning in, appreciate you being here. Just about 4 laps. Going to be 4 laps this time, actually, from halfway. And that's going to be... It's going to be kind of borderline now on fuel. I don't think these guys are good just yet, but... maybe the guys topping off now are hoping we get a couple more cautions. They can save some under the caution and flip the track position. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of different names up front. Matthew Baker now, he's in the number 5 out front from Florida. Cody Nagels in that 24, he's in 2nd. And then we got Jeff D. Merckx in the 60, he's in 3rd. He started 3rd, so he's staying right there, pretty consistent here at Talladega in the Truck Series race here on Tuesday Night Thunder. fun to be a part of. I appreciate you letting me be in the booth tonight. It's been a lot of fun, and every time we do this together, it's always a good time.
It certainly is. I appreciate you being here, and I know we probably are going to have at least one, if not a couple more weeks of you being here. And, you know, next time, obviously, and this I'm, you know, kind of letting the people in the chat know about it. Again, you probably see the broadcast tonight. The commentating, at least in my opinion, is good as always, of course, because Jacob Emery is here joining us. But the production side of it, a little off tonight. We had an overlay saved for it that I had made for the last race. Unfortunately, it looks like I had forgot to save it. And I didn't realize that until last minute when it was actually popped up and loaded. So I tried to throw something together pretty quick. But that is why it doesn't look as good as usual. We'll have everything fixed for next week. And it's just going to get better and better as the series goes on. Now, a couple things that we're going to be keeping an eye on here. I really wanted to get an interview during this caution from one of the McCall Motorsports drivers to see how they're feeling about their run so far and the things that have happened. Not going to be able to squeeze it in this time. However, I think we might see some more cautions, though, Jacob Emery, with what we've seen so far. What do you think?
Yeah, guys were really patient early on. The drivers were coming out here doing the side-by-side and 3 wide, doing really good driving. But later in the race, they started trying to get the positions, and we started seeing cautions come out. I think we'll see another one again, hopefully not for a few laps. But time will tell as that pace car is off. Lights are off, and we are going to go back racing as that number 5 Matthew Baker on the inside lane will take us away. Cody Neagle's in that 24. He's going to start on the outside. And let's see what that 22 of Brandon can do behind Matthew. As the green flag is out, we are back racing here at Talladega, Tuesday Night Thunder.
33 laps to go here at Talladega. Matthew Baker and his teammate Cody Nagels are going to lead him down into turn 1. Nobody shied away from making those aggressive moves as Cody Nagels drops right to the bottom, and you can see the 2 other teammates, Jeff Merck and Matt Lee, they're pushing aggressive up top. In fact, you got NBG Motorsports 1, 2, 3, 4. The only thing they could do better right now is get that 5th teammate of Sean Hill back to the front. He's going to have some work to do as Jeff Merck drops back down to the bottom, and that puts Matt Lee in charge up on the top.
And I'll tell you what, Jeff Merck in that number 60 from Florida, he does such a good job to get into the right position to get out front. He knows when to drop down. He knows the right moves. And it's not always the inside lane. It could be the middle, the outside. Jeff Merck always making some good choices to get out front. But we're looking at the number 9 out there, Matthew Lee in the Toyota. He is rolling as he's got Kenneth Jr. behind him, pushing him. As now we're going to go 3 wide. He says, see you later. Outside lanes. Working. Inside lane pushing a little bit. Middle lane falling back just a tad.
That was a beautiful, beautiful move. I can't tell you how shocked I am that it didn't work out. And in fact, the middle actually was able to stall him. We'll see if Ken McCall Jr. can get clear right here. And if he does he drop down to the bottom? But it sure looked like they timed it perfectly. They had 3 trucks bumper to bumper, jump to the outside. Looked like they were going to get clear. But MBG Motorsports, the advantage of having 4 teammates up there, as you saw it there. Matthew Baker immediately, as soon as he saw that move, jumped right up to the top, got behind his teammate, and was able to keep McCall Motorsports from being able to get a truck clear. And that keeps all 4 of those NBG trucks still leading the way, 2 on the bottom and 2 in the middle. Ooh, looks like that might be David Drohan that got just a little bit loose, keeps it together. And he's having a good run tonight. I feel like we haven't talked about him enough, but he's one of the drivers that I don't believe he's on a team out here. And for a solo driver to be running in the top 10 in a race this crazy with this much talent is a heck of a statement. And we are halfway through this race. So pit stops, it's going to be really close, Jacob. I'm not sure if anybody's got any strategy, and I am not sure what Sean Hill and the John Ellis Jr. are doing in the back, swerving back and forth. That was really odd looking. I'm not sure if these 2 were, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And like you said, if you don't have a teammate out here and you're out here by yourself at Talladega, it is tough to be up the top front, top 10, top 5, whatever it may be, because you need teammates. You need guys behind you to push you. You need guys in front of you to guide the way. That's a testament. If you're out here running the top 10 by yourself, you either got a lot of good friends or they really like you, because, man, it's a testament to try to get out here and get a win without no teammates. As we're seeing it happen, now we're 3 wide, though. The 03 out there on the outside. Kenneth Jr. trying to make a move as he does. Looks like a good run. Number 90, Daniel, pushing very well. Man, fun to watch. And as you can see, so some of these guys, it may not look like they're not holding their line, but what they're actually doing, they're side drafting. And what that does sometimes, it takes away the air from the inside lane or the outside lane, and it might stall that line, and that's why they're doing it.
And Jeff Merck jumped up in front of his teammate Matt Lee, got a big wiggle, started fishtailing, but by doing so, yet again, they are able to stall McCall Motorsports on the outside. Ken McCall Jr., though, he's still getting a great push from Daniel Eberhardt. This is going to come down to a battle of who can manage temps more. And, man, the inside had a big stack-up effect. That is going to clear Matthew Baker, Matt Lee all to the bottom, but you can see Jeff Merck and Matt Lee, they're still hanging in the middle. They're going to try to hang strong because they know if they drop low, then McCall Motorsports is going to be able to get down to the middle, and that's going to make things a lot harder if they're trying to maintain both of these lanes.
Yeah, what they've got to do is work together as a team here. You're looking at the inside lane making big runs. You're looking at the outside lane making big runs, and that's because they're not sticking together. You're seeing it back and forth. It's cat and mouse game here as a number 5 out there now. Oh, big contact in the wall. They're going to stay. Nope.
Still no caution. We're not going to hold on to this one.
The caution's coming out.
Yeah. Oh, big hit for Sean Hill. 99's in it. 90, excuse me, of Daniel Eberhardt. David Sheets looked like he had been involved already, had some damage. Matt Lee back on track after being in the pits. Man, just as things were starting to get exciting. Go back, take a look here where it's all going to go wrong. It actually kind of went wrong a couple times here pretty quick, but eventually we had guys turned around into the wall. So this is off of 4. Is there a block here? Is there some contact? What happens here? Ken McCall Jr. and Matt Lee. And, they definitely come together. It's hard to say from that view, though, who came up and who came down. So let's see if we can get it from the back side here. Watch real slow. So you see, let's back it up here. We're going to use reference. That's usually the best way we can do it. Ken McCall Jr. is probably just a little bit more towards the right side of those white lines. But Matt Lee, keep an eye on that truck. That's going to be more easy here. About halfway, his truck straddling those white lines. Let's see, does he really come off of it? He starts to come up, and then at the same time, Ken McCall Jr. maybe getting pushed by Daniel Eberhardt. That starts to slowly turn him down. I got to be honest, Jacob, I kind of consider that just another racing deal.
Yeah, maybe. Another racing deal there. It's, man.
And then just trying to save it. Not going to work out.
Yeah. Yep.
Go ahead, Jacob. I didn't mean to cut you off, by the way.
No, I just watching the replay as well, and that 9 of Matthew. It's just it's a tough spot. He's been in a few incidents tonight, and just unfortunate for him early on. 32 laps down now, and getting to a lot of incidents, fortunately.
That's a pretty hard hit for Eberhardt. Oh, man, Ryan Bass tried so hard to sneak through it. He couldn't quite make it. Cezanto somehow finds a way through. In fact, let's ride on board with Ryan Bass. It looked like the initial maneuver he made was impressive, but I don't think he was able to miss it the second time. And we'll go back live and on tap. We're going to get an interview with McCall Motorsports because they're going to have some interesting stuff to say after this, I think. We'll have to see. Oh, man, that was a heck of a dodge. And he just ran out of room on the outside. Quick thinking by Ryan Bass, man, that is a tough break for him. So as we go back live here, and we go up front, let us know how are we looking for our top 10 here, Jacob.
Yeah, right now looking like Jason Maines in that 19. He's in first place. A guy you'll see up there quite a bit. He started 10, now in first. Number 5, Matthew Baker. He's in second in the 05. Jeff DeMerck in the 60. He's third. Cody Niegels in the 24, fourth. Logan York in the 02 made it way back up here to the front in the 5th position. He started 21st. So he's still making a move. Don't forget about number 59, Mark Vondel. He started 23rd, is now in 6th position. Brandon Broad from the 22, he's 7th. David Drohan in the 42, he's 8th. John Ward, 92, he's 9th. And Gabe Butler, he was 1 lap down. Now he's made it all the way back to 10th. He's in the 88 truck. Great to see that. That's your top 10.
And we are going to hop out of the booth here with Jacob for just a moment to hop over to McCall Motorsports and see if we can't get an interview with Ken or one of the guys real quick. So we'll be right back, and we'll be right back to you as well, Jacob.
Are we live?
All right, we got Ken McCall Jr. in here. You heard a couple of the teammates in the background. Daniel Eberhardt talking about making sure that he knows we're live. But either way, all right, Ken, been some crazy racing so far. Seems like a lot of tense moments here on the track, but a lot of stuff has looked like racing incidents. What have you make of it so far?
I'm still trying to make of what's going on. There's been some crazy racing up front. A lot of angry drivers tonight.
Well, it looks like you're in the pits here. You're gonna have to start towards the back of the field on this one. But if you're able to get that truck back out there, do you think you have a shot at getting back up to the front before this thing's all said and done?
Oh yeah, I'll be back at the front before it's over with.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on it. Hey, thanks for letting us know what it's looking like so far. Sure, go ahead.
Hey, I just want everybody to know out there that's watching. Matt Lee might be driving the number. He's representing that number really bad.
All right, strong words from some of the McCall Motorsports camp. We're going to let them go as we get ready to go back green here. Thanks for talking to us, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Oh,
All right, well, Spice and Booth, we're going to have some... tell you what, it's been one of those kind of broadcasts tonight. It's just been so interesting. It's almost been more of a fun broadcast than more of a professional one, if you will, just because there's... I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like a kid on the playground in the sense of everybody's excited to see the fights going on and whatnot, and that's been the case tonight. And in terms of for what Jacob might have missed, it was some heated words over there. Daniel Eberhardt had a strong statement. He said Matt Lee might be the 9 truck, but he doesn't represent that number well at all. And Ken McCall Jr., on the other hand, said he is trying to make up what's going on. Been a lot of hard racing up here tonight. A lot of angry drivers, and it certainly looks like there's been quite a lot of hurt feelings. So we are getting ready.
I just turned the driver chat on too, and you know what? I think these drivers are having a lot of fun out here as well, but also they're getting a little heated. But man, pace car's off. Austin, take us away. We've got 35 laps down, and we are over halfway.
Well, I'd like to tell them that they're all pretty. Ladies, you're all pretty, but here we go, going back green. 35 is 60 laps in. Going to take lap 36 here. That means we are at 25 to go, that crucial mark. I always like to say with 25 to go, it is time to find your way back to the front. And that's what we're going to see here early. NBG Motorsports going to try to maintain control, but Jason Maines drops right down in front of Cody Nagels. Jason doesn't really have any teammates right now. Meanwhile, up top, Mark Vondel, David Drohan, two of the underdog guys looking to see if they can get a win here tonight. And now we're going to see a couple more NBG Motorsports drivers. They jump to the outside. Logan York thinks about following. He's going to think better of it as he sticks to the inside. Brandon Broadfoot, third truck on the top now as well.
Man, side by side now. Looks like the 19 and the 5, 24 and the 60 all working together. Austin, what are your thoughts? Do you want to be
we got
out
another
front?
wreck.
We got another wreck.
Sorry to cut you off.
Caution.
We had one turn
No,
in the
you're
back.
good.
14
Caution's
of Brock
back out.
Westmoreland. Man, 5th caution of the night. Let's take a look at it here. See what's going to go on this time. And I think Brock was really the only one that really got too much of anything from that. Ooh. Does he just kind of shoot up into Christopher McCall? That's certainly what it looks like. Or does Chris make a late move? You know, me and Baker see what kind of this looks like a lot in the PGR races on Thursday. Baker does a good job of talking about it. I probably can't talk about it as well as him, but this really looks like with the new package, sometimes when you get a heavy side draft on the right side of the truck like that, it kind of sucks that truck up, and that looks almost exactly like what happens to the 14 here. You see Christopher McCall. He gets a big run. He takes it to the outside, but he stays nice and tight, trying to make sure that he gets the side draft. But to be honest, it was really close on if he was there or not. Either way, the 14 sucks him up initially, but then he just kind of comes up on that secondary move, and Christopher McCall's there, and contact is made. Pretty big hit for the 14 on the front end. He gets kind of pinched up in the air, and rest is history.
Yeah, it seems like we've seen some wrecks like that a few times tonight here at Talladega. Unfortunate for the 14.
You have to start to wonder how many of these guys have fast repairs left.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So field of 25, 24 drivers. We only have 3 drivers. One of them, Matthew Lee, 1 lap down. Sean Hill, 2 laps down. Ryan Baste in a 73. He's 3 laps down. Not sure if he has time to make it back to the lead lap to get into the running for the money. So you're right. If these drivers continue to get into these wrecks, we may see a few more drivers go a lap down, and it's really tough at this point in time to get a lucky dog because you got to make up a lot of track time to get there.
Can't rule out anything so far, that's for sure. Well, you know what? Since we got some time here before we go back green, let's get interviews from a couple different guys. Let's start with Logan York. Had a couple requests for him in the chat. And he's been our kind of, I guess, in-race reporter so far tonight, but talked to us through chat as well. So how about it, Logan, Austin, and Jacob up in the booth? You got a copy? We'll give him just a moment here and try him one more time.
Yeah, Logan York in that 02, he started grid 21st, but now sitting 5th, so looking pretty good out there at the moment.
Absolutely.
Hey man, yeah, I got you. Sorry, I was muted.
No problem. Well, you've kind of been, I guess, maybe the innocent bystander, if you will, in all the chaos that we've seen tonight. You don't really have any teammates out here, just kind of working solo, but you get to watch these teams go at it. What have you thought of everything so far?
Oh yeah, it's a bit of a change from my normal strategy. Usually I'm riding around in the back, but I noticed at the end of the race I'm just kind of too far back to make anything happen, so I decided to see what I can do up front. My teammate Jackson Bice is in this race, so it's definitely been a challenge on my own, but I have a technical alliance with Ryan Bice here, but he, I think, is a lap down, so yeah, just making it happen. See what we can do.
Hey, real quick, Logan, you're making a run through the field. You started 21st, now sitting 5th. I will give you an update here. You are the only Ford truck in the top 10 drivers. Everybody else is going to be Chevys out there, so good luck.
Oh yeah, thank you. I will make you guys proud.
All right. Love to see it. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and that's going to wrap up our Logan York interview. Let's get a interview from, how about a couple of guys that aren't in here tonight as we're getting ready to take the one to go. Let's start with Michael Triscaro. Hey, Michael, this is Jacob and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, you're just sitting here spectating tonight, getting ready for Thursday. Man, up in the booth from what we've thought, you know, it's been quite crazy. It's, you know, Baker's mom might have put a good comment out. She said that was an immature moment, but I like the idea of the race itself. There's been a couple moments in this race where guys have maybe been acting a little too childish, but what have you thought of it?
Yeah, I kind of keep an eye on a lot of these races when I'm not racing myself, just so, I mean, you know, we don't want to carry over everything to different promotions, but I mean, a lot of these same drivers drive in, you know, PGR on Thursdays, FEG, so, you know, we want to make sure that stuff doesn't leak into those races, so, you know, we got to go back and talk to some of these guys and make sure we clean some stuff up before we go live Thursday. You know, it seems a lot of child's play out there tonight. You know, the racing was good for a little bit. I hope they can, you know, get some green laps going because it was exciting, but, you know, it's just a lot of wrecks and, you know, a lot of funny business up front, and just be nice to see this get raced a lot cleaner.
Certainly would. Last question that I got for you here is, if you find yourself, if you're in this race at this point with the amount of wrecks you've seen, what would be your strategy? Do you sit in the back, maybe let them keep wrecking each other, or do you still have to go for it and go to the front right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been racing a lot lately, and I think I've cashed like 7 times in the last couple of weeks. I've done it from I've been in the front. I think being out front, you know, first, you know, anywhere between 1st and 4th, and you know, holding tight, I think that's the best spot. I used to kind of hang out in the back, and it didn't get me anywhere. I think you got to go to the front and stay there, and that's what I would do at least. But hopefully these guys can keep it clean the rest of the way here.
All right, thanks for giving us a couple minutes of your time, and we will talk to you Thursday.
Awesome, guys. Thank you.
Michael Triscaro. All right, Jacob, getting ready to go back green here.
Yeah, just to make a point to Michael's comment, to staying in the back, it's not always the safest and smartest thing to do to try to get a win, because a lot of times you just get stuck back there and you'll never find yourself making it through the pack to get up front where you really need to be. And majority of the time, you're trying to make your way through the pack. You're in the middle, and then that's where you'll get into the wreck. But hey, we are back, green flag racing here at Talladega, and Jason D. Maines in the number 19's out front. Matthew Baker in the number 5, he's going to be in 2nd. Cody Nagels, Jeff Merckx, Logan York, big names out front right now, as we only have a few more laps until this race will end, and we will pay someone out. Top 2 get $100. See what happens here at Talladega.
And that top 5 payout is being rounded out right now by John Ward from McCall Motorsports. He's kind of made a late charge here, but down the backstretch, Matthew Baker does have the advantage. NBG, still probably my pick for the team that's going to get the job done tonight. They have had most of their guys up front for just about the whole race. McCall Motorsports was in the same boat for a while, but it looks like now, after some of the wrecks, they faded just a little bit, but I would not be surprised at all to see them make a charge back to the front. And keep your eye on Daniel Eberhardt. Finds himself in 15th right now, but man, you know he likes to be aggressive. He is going to be probably the first guy looking to get that third line going. And now that we are at 20 to go, we talked about 25 to go, it's time to go to the front. But every driver that I think we've talked to, I've yet to hear anyone say they want to sit in the back. So I'm thinking this whole pack, once it tightens up, we're going to see that third lane get formed in a hurry.
Yeah, 25 drivers in here. We've had races up to 40. And I will tell you this, that is a big move to try to get through that field of that many drivers. 25 is doable, but still, you want to start making your way to the front so you can be there at the end and try to get that win. John Ward in the 92, we haven't talked about him much tonight. He's started grid 17th and now is in 5th, as he's making good running here tonight at Talladega. Number 5, Matthew Baker on the inside, still out front in that red truck.
How about Ambrose Knievel sitting in 6th position? He's looking to see if he can cash in some money tonight, but he is going to go to the third line and nobody's going to go with him, so he is going to fall to the back. Not sure if that was by design or not, but tough break for the 04 if it wasn't. Matthew Baker, meanwhile, jumps to the top line. That opens it back up to Jason Maines on the bottom, and this might be the point where Baker's hoping that he can just go back and forth bottom to top and just let everybody cool down when needed, but that's not going to work for too long because that third line, it has gotten formed up and it has gotten ahead of steam. Mark Vondell and a teammate, Daniel Eberhardt, they are lined up and they are making a charge to the front. John Ellis Jr. and Gabe Butler just behind those two trucks, and at a certain point, do Baker or Jeff Merck think about going to the top here, or do they stick together?
And I think they stick together at this point in time. They're kind of late runners. They'll make some moves at the very end and get to the front. And we've talked about this earlier as we've seen these outside lanes make these big, huge runs, and then the inside lane will go. They just got to stick together. They got to work together. Everyone's got to make the right moves to try to get there. Since now we're seeing the third line just disappear side by side out front. Matthew Baker making a huge push on the outside. Clean air.
Remember when we talked about McCall Motorsports making a charge back to the front? They're continuing right in those footsteps now. Just as a couple other teammates fall back, a couple more of them are going to jump to the outside. John Ward and John Mullihan. Brandon Broadfoot follows in suit as NBG gets a big lead on the bottom with Matthew Baker out in front, and then Cody Nagels and Jeff Merck. Back to the middle line goes Jason Maines. John Ward starting to get that run off the bumper of John Mullihan, coming to 17 laps to go, this time.
And big checkup on the inside. That was good by the 59 to slow down. Didn't cause any issues. Mark Vondell from New York. Good move by him, but look at that. Number 19, Jason Maines in the middle. That's where he wants to be. Number 92, John Ward now is on the outside looking at second. Matthew Baker on the inside, back and forth. Number 2, John Mullihan trying to push the 92. See if they can work together and get out to the front, but hey, guess what? Jason Maines in that 19, he's one driver that's hard to get by. Let's see what they can do here at Talladega. Big contact on the inside, 19 holds it together.
That's Logan York with a heck of a save. I thought for sure that was going to end in a big wreck. They got hooked together. Basically, that was just a wreck that didn't happen. Meanwhile, that's going to get the middle and top. Big momentum. 2 NBG teammates drop right back down to the bottom. They're going to want some clean air. Matthew Baker still leading the middle. John Ward and John Mullihan up top. For the 3 wide, you kind of see how it seems like every lap, Jacob, they just get tighter and tighter together. Those side drops become more and more vital, and at a certain point here, probably within the next 3 laps or so, oh man, John Mullihan almost makes contact with Matthew Baker, but 2 to 3 laps from now, I think we're starting to hit that point where everybody's temps that's pushing are going to be so hot that it really becomes that chess match of trying to make the other guy push just a little bit too hard, and as soon as he overheats, that's when you really go, put the throttle down, and push right up to the lead.
Absolutely, and we saw the 24 to Cody Nagels make a huge run on the inside. Then he jumps to the middle and slows everyone down. So Matthew Baker, Jason Maines, both behind, as now Matthew Baker drops down to the bottom, and 24 might be left in the dust as a huge run on the inside. 19 has to check up.
Big wreck out back. Mark Vondell's in it. The 16 Christopher McCall, and it looks like the 8 of John Ellis Jr. Not sure if he got damaged. This might have been a good break for Ken McCall Jr. Ooh, Gabe Butler slides into the 16. He couldn't quite get woed up in time. 6th caution of the night, falls with 15 laps to go. And you know what? I'll tell you what, though, Jacob, we had some pretty good racing going right there.
Yeah, that was fantastic racing as we saw them 3 wide, side by side on the insides, and it's just a good look there. But caution came out. Let's see what happened.
And it looks like John Ellis Jr., you know, it looks, to correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks identical, almost identical to the exact wreck that we just saw, just on a different part of the track. John Ellis Jr. goes to make the move, gets a side draft. It looks like maybe it sucks Mark Vondell up the track just a little bit. Now, they initially saved it, but you can see the 8's hanging on the quarter panel, and I'm not sure if it's just dragging Mark up or if Mark just not sure what the deal was, but I think it just kept dragging him up. And then, you know, the 59, he's up too far. John Ellis Jr. doesn't have any more room, and they get hooked together and turn around into the outside wall. There's Christopher McCall going for a slide. He's going to tank slap the outside wall a little bit here with the left front. And Andrew Zonto looks like he takes a pretty good tank slapper to the passenger side of his truck as well. And we're going to see Gabe Butler coming along for the ride here after the wreck's just about done. Christopher McCall has the brakes locked, but he's just sliding down the apron, and 88 nowhere to go.
Man, Austin, I went back and looked at that replay of the contact originally. You know, it's just a situation where it seems like they have room to get by, and it's like a magnet. It just attracts the trucks together and it gets them loose. It's interesting. We've seen this a ton this year, and I didn't see this last year. I didn't see this last season. So maybe it's the new design of these trucks, what they've changed. Maybe they need to go back to the drawing board and fix this, because we're seeing it over and over and over. It just seems like it's a problem. So interesting aspect.
Been a tough night in a couple of those aspects, but it's been fun nonetheless watching the racing. Been fun up here in the booth. And you know, Jacob, we can't let you up here without giving some self-promotion. Race Day Live, is it?
Yeah, Race Day Live, man. I appreciate that. So season 5 starts on 8/1 next month. And we run a big season. I think 20 races this season. It's a lot of fun. 2,000 iRating limit. We are recruiting right now, so check us out. Race Day Live on YouTube. Me and Steve will be broadcasting that. We've done a few races of this as well on Tuesday night. It's been a lot of fun. Austin, you're great. I appreciate you letting me come in these booths and broadcast with you, because it's always a good time here on Tuesday or even Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, going to be the next big event that we're looking forward to. And in fact, thanks for giving me that note, because it's time for a little bit of daily ads. We always got to give ourselves a little advertisements too. The Blaster 120, the next race that I'll be doing, at least here on Ghost Racing Network, this Thursday. $19 entry fee. As always, big payouts. Hoping for another big field as we've seen the last couple weeks with 45-plus drivers. And we got an announcement coming for a major PGR event, but we're going to leave it there until it gets officially announced later. Actually, it may have already been announced, but either way, we'll save that for the Thursday broadcast. Quick reminder that your top 3 Super Chat donors from the last couple broadcasts that we've done, Richard Elliott, John Mullahan still leading the way. Richard Elliott with the 2 $10.99 donations, or excuse me, $10 donations. John Mullahan with the $10 donation, and then Baker's mom, your most recent Super Chat donation with the $1.99. Couple broadcasts to go. We certainly always appreciate that from everybody at home, and we hope you're having a good time right now watching. Hoping that this could potentially be the final restart, but we still got plenty of laps for things to get crazy here. Looking like we're going to go green with either 10 or 11 laps to go. Probably 11. I think we're going to get the one-to-go signal this time. So let's pull up. Got one other guy here, it looks like, on tap, unless... Actually, no, I take that back. We got a couple more guys on tap. Let's start with... You know what? Let's start with Brandon Broadfoot. He's had a up-and-down night. See if we can pull him in here. Hey, Brandon, this is Austin and Jacob up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got a copy.
You've kind of had an up and down night. You find yourself in 13th position right now. Who do you go with here to try to get all the way back to the front? You don't necessarily have any specific teammates. How are you going to make it work?
Well, I've been doing this the last couple of seasons. I've been doing it on my own, so there's a few people in here that I like to work with. Eberhard. Working with David Sheets right there before we went through that crash. But I'm just going where the momentum is.
Now, speaking of crashes, we've seen quite a few tonight, and we've asked a lot of drivers on their strategy, so I'm going to have to just go ahead and ask you the same question. Are you planning on going right to the front here? Or is there any thought about maybe playing it conservative and seeing if they're going to wreck one more time?
I got a fast repair in my pocket, so if I want to get aggressive here, I'm probably going to.
All right, sounds good. We'll be keeping an eye on you the rest of the way. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
That's Brandon Broadfoot. Not sure which one. Was he in Blue Lightning? He might have been.
Austin, did he say he had a fast repair left?
He did. He must be one of the far and few in between, because there's no way most of the field is with what we've seen here tonight. I do think a couple of your leaders might, but we're getting ready to go back green, so we're going to go ahead and hold off the interviews from there. And Matthew Baker, Cody Nagels, Jeff Merck, all NBG Motorsports drivers, and I think they're looking pretty good here with what's going to be 11 to go when we take the green.
Yeah, Matthew Baker's been up there all day long. Let's see if he can stay up there. Cody Neagles, that 24 from Midwest in that Chevy, he's up there as well all the time. Jeff Merckx, Jason Maines. We only have a few laps left here, Austin. This is going to turn out to be a great race. I think they're going to figure it out here, and we're going to see a fantastic finish. Watch out for the 22 of Brandon Broadfoot, though, man. He still has his fast repair. I think you make a charge. You get in a little damage, go in there to the pits, change it out, get a fresh truck, and try to get a win. Pace car's off. Austin, take us away.
I agree. I think tonight could very well be the night for Brandon Broadfoot, but only time will tell. 11 laps to go, a lot of money on the line. And you know what else is kind of on the line tonight? It's kind of the egos. Let's be honest. A lot of these guys have been getting into little heated matches with each other, and they're ready to see who can claim the bragging rights. Here we go. Green flag is back in the air. 11 laps to go from Talladega. Matthew Baker gets off to a good start with his teammate Cody Nagels. Jeff Merck getting lined up. He's looking for the push. Logan York trying to catch up to these three as well. Watch for Daniel Eberhardt and John Mullahan. They may not get right up to the bumper of those three trucks, but rather try to find their way either to the middle or top line. Dylan Jones, I think if he goes to the top, he might get some help from John Ward and David Drohan, but he's going to have to make that move before somebody else does.
Yeah, I think Logan needs to make the move now. If not, John's going to pop out there and go 3 wide. That's what my telltale sign's going to be, but they're running pretty good there in that top line side by side. 24 of Cody is out front making that move. Number 5 now, Matthew on the inside trying to get by, as he doesn't have much help. He has Jeff behind him in that 60. But the 02 and Logan needs to get a little bit closer.
Out
The
back.
yellow flag is out, Austin.
Oh, another turn. Man, this was after the caution came out. What in the world? Ken McCall Jr., he's got some pretty good damage, and he was back on the lead lap fighting after. And I don't even have any words to say because I've got to sort this out myself first. This looked like 2 different wrecks. The first wreck here is going to be the 77 up top. So you see Ambrose Kniebel works his way to the top line. That's going to cause a little stack up here for Gabe Butler. Sean Hill does a pretty good job of diving down. I think he might have saw that, didn't want to turn the 88. So he's going to dive down, and when he does so, that might have been more netcode actually. We'll have to take a look from the chopper view. That's kind of what it looks like from there. Turns the 73 hard into the outside while him and Gabe Butler go spinning. And then the 77, he's trying to hang on, and that's where the contact between him and Ken McCall Jr. is going to occur. But watch this. They almost kind of save it. I guess not really. 77 was still out of control, trying to get it gathered back up, and him and the 03 just ended up tangling. 77 takes a hard shot into the outside wall. He may have already used a fast repair tonight, and this would have finished that deal off. So let's look here. And it looks like Alejandro says looks intentional. I got to be honest, this does not look intentional from the initial view. In fact, like I said, I think it may have been netcode. Let's watch here. Watch the 70. Now, he did make that abrupt move to come down low, but I'm not sure if he ever touched him. He didn't. In fact, he wasn't even close. That one was probably more about a foot or so.
Yeah, he didn't have much contact with that 3 at all. There was some space there. A little bit of netcode. He did come down aggressively, but it seemed like he did save it before he got in contact with the 3, but man,
it's still
we
trying to hang on.
See this as for the people at home, the chat is going with these drivers, and it's a good thing we don't have them mic'd up because we'd have to have some mute buttons. But we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back racing here shortly, but unfortunate turn of events right now with these drivers in the trucks.
And like I said, you know what though, Jacob? I don't even know what the word would be for it, but it's always, if nothing else, we certainly don't like to see when there's a lot of wrecks and races. Sometimes watching these guys, you know, we can hear in the background the anger and stuff. It's kind of funny up here. It makes it a little bit more enjoyable for us. I would much rather see a nice green flag race, and I'm hoping that we can get back to that next week. But we still, of course, could see a great run to the finish with a great finish here tonight. But I still continue to say that I'm really liking NBG Motorsports' chances right now. They just continue to impress, been dominant towards the front all day. And McCall Motorsports, it seems like their trucks keep getting picked off one by one in these wrecks. It's only so long, and they're going to have enough teammates. They still do have 3 really strong trucks in John Ward, John Mullahan, and Daniel Eberhard up here. And we'll see how those 3 can get restarted and how quick they can get together. David Sheets just behind them as well with Christopher McCall. So I wouldn't count their chances out just yet. But each restart is going to make it less and less laps. And this time I think we're going to go green with probably 7 to go.
Yeah, 7 to go, and that will be the end of the race. I think, and this is my prediction, I think right now, once we go back green flag racing, I think we're going to go full green until the finish. I don't think there'll be any more cautions. And like you said, Cody and Matthew Baker and Jason Maines up there, 1, 2, 3. I think it may stay that way. I would be surprised. But, man, John Ward, he started grid 17th. Now he's in 6th on the 92. That's one driver that I think may have a chance to get up front and steal it from these guys and get a win tonight.
Well, if we were betting, I think I'd wager a diffy on that. I mean, I certainly hope you're right. I'd love to go green the rest of the way, but as crazy as things have been, now that the money and the pay window's open, I think they're just going to get that much more crazy. But I think we got time for one more interview tonight. So how about we get one from the owner of 760 Graphics, Heath Job. Heath, this is Austin and Jacob up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Good. Well, we decided we'd go ahead and throw you off guard here a little bit because we pretty much did with everybody else tonight. But we just want to ask you pretty much, what have you kind of thought of the racing here so far tonight? It's looked crazy from up here. What have you thought?
Well, you know, I'm seeing a lot of what looks like to be a testosterone-filled battle happening here. It's quite a bit of kindergarten stuff, to be quite honest with you. These guys, they got to get themselves under control, and they need to control their attitudes. I get it, but it's, you know, it's money involved. I get that, but attitudes are causing a problem for guys that aren't involved in their little tissy fits.
And that was the greatest quote that I've heard all night. So thanks for that, Heath Joe. But we got one more question for you. We're probably expecting to see you on the Thursday race in PGR. What's going to be your game plan for that, knowing what you've seen here tonight?
Well, I've made a list, I can tell you that, of car numbers, and those are the ones that I'm going to make sure that I stay away from. No, to be honest with you, my plan is to do the same thing that I always do. I'm going to race smart and not push issue and try to make it to the end where it counts.
Well, we've been having a fun broadcast up here tonight. You just made it that much more enjoyable. Thanks for talking to us real quick, and enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you Thursday.
You too, guys. Great job. Thank you, guys.
Heath Job, Jacob, testosterone-filled race. I mean, come on, that was beautiful.
That might just be the thumbnail tag on this race. That was fantastic. I think this is the most interesting broadcast I've had in quite some time. I love it. This is what it's all about. It's fun. You never know what you're going to get. Tonight, we're getting everything, and just want to thank everybody at home watching at Ghostface Racing. It's been a lot of fun. Says we're going back green. I can't even speak right now. Austin, take it away.
That's all right. Here we go. Green flag is back in the air. Back down to business. 7 laps to go. Teammates, good jump off the line. I'm telling you, though, keep an eye here. Daniel Eberhard, he's going to be that gray and white numbered truck on the outside, about 5 trucks back. If you're looking for someone to go 3 wide, I think that might be the first truck to do it. Question is, do David Drohan or Logan York have enough time to maybe throw a block, try to counter that move? Meanwhile, up front, Cody Nagel's off of turn 2. He's got the advantage. Jason Maines, you know he would like to jump up in the top line, but he's not quite able to get clear as they rocket down the backstretch.
And Cody Nagel's up front, looking really nice on the inside. Let's see if he can keep it up there. Matthew Baker, Jason Maines, Jeff Merck. Big names out front right now late in this race. That is going to be a tough time to get around them.
big names, but I mean, no surprise either. The guys that have been the best all night are the guys that are running up front right now as it stands. And Jason Maines, wouldn't you know, Dylan Jones found a way to get up to his teammate's back bumper. So those two might stay planted here for the rest of the race, assuming that Cody Nagels doesn't get clear, but he does. And he slams the door on Jason Maines. That's going to throw their strategy off a little bit. And now NBG back to leading the front row. Baker up top with Merck. Still no third lane just yet, but you can see a couple guys peeking towards the back. Ambrose Kniebel, the newest man, trying to get it done, but Christopher McCall, he is moving through the field, and he might be looking for 3 wide here in a lap or so.
Hey, look at number 4, Dylan Jones. Started 16th, now 4th, right in the mix with these big boys trying to get a win here.
David Drohan, might have made a mistake there. Thought about 3 wide. Nobody went with him. He had a chance to drop back down, but he waited too long, and he's going to lose a couple of positions. Looks like there's a lap truck in the distance they are going to have to contend with at a certain point. But looking ahead here, we're coming to 5 laps to go, and things aren't as crazy as I thought they would be. No 3 wide for about the first 6 rows, and then you got a couple guys that all want to lead it, but nobody wants to work together, at least not yet. Now we're going to see a couple of teammates, Christopher McCall and Daniel Eberhardt. They're going to take right to that 3rd lane, and they should have a run here working their way down the backstretch.
And I'm surprised there's a lot of trucks in the back there that need to get back to the main pack up front because, hey, you're running at times 56 laps down, and we've got one group up front, but multiple trucks in the back. Hopefully they can make it back up there.
And I think this will, if they stay green the rest of the way, assuming this will all condense back down. A couple of lap trucks, Matt Lee, one of them. Oh, man, what a save. That's the 2nd time Logan York has had a heck of a save here tonight. Somebody got the bad end of the stick from that, though. I couldn't tell who it was. And I think they might have had to go down pit road. If so, that would be a tough break. Maybe they got a black clear, not sure. And I couldn't tell now. Either way, they got it cleared. So 4 laps to go here.
Look at this, 92 on the outside, got pushed outside. Can he still make that run? He's got John in the 2 making a big push on the outside, checking up on the inside lane. Middle run, making some good moves. Matthew Baker out front, 24, Cody Nagels pushing him.
Man.
John Ward on the outside trying to make it out there. He just can't get enough help.
And I was going to tell you, Jacob, 3 strong trucks in the middle. I just think this is going to be really hard for anybody else to think about taking a win away from any of those guys at this point. You know, if you're Baker, you can go high if you want. You can go low, but at the end of the day, you know, right now you got 2 teammates behind you. They're not going anywhere. John Ward is going to stay up top. He's looking to get out front. Now, if he does get clear, that's where it gets interesting because he very well could think about dropping low. And you see Baker, he's not shying away from potential contact as he goes right up there for the side draft. It works out, though, as it allows him to hang even here down the backstretch. And we're going to be coming to 2 laps to go next time. And if we can make it to the white flag, this race will be official.
I told you this. I said we'll go green. I said look out for the 92 of John Ward, and it's all coming true. But look out, 24 on the inside. Cody Nagels making a big push. Can 92 make this happen and still a win here at Talladega?
I think Cody picked a perfect time to drop low because I think Jason will have plenty enough temps to be able to push him pretty strong here for these final 2 laps. Up top, you know, John Mullihan, he might be starting to hurt a little bit on the temps. And Jeff Merck being that 3rd truck in line, he was probably doing okay on temps as well. He didn't really have to worry about pushing, just had to stay kind of close. But to my surprise, Cody Nagels is going to jump back up top. Daniel Eberhardt, he jumps to the bottom, 4 trucks back. And John Wood and John Mullihan, they're still trying to get something going. Christopher McCall is up there working with them as well. But now we're seeing the top 2 lines slowly start to die out as the bottom gets about 7 or 8 trucks tacked onto it.
Big surprise for 24 to go up top there and now sitting in the outside lane. He's got Jason Maines in the 19 on the inside. Dylan Jones at the 4 is going to push him. Now 92 lost some steam. He's way back there. I don't think he's going to get that 3rd lane working again. He's got to drop back in the pack and see what he can do. 59 laps in.
And this is going to be the most...
60 is going to get turned there. Jeff Merck.
No caution, though, because it's the last lap here. They're like a big out back. Up front, though, they stay 2x2. Cody Nagels and Matthew Baker. Daniel Eberhard, he's going to have a shot at winning this thing now with 2 teammates behind him. Sure enough, strands Matthew Baker. Cody Nagels, he's going to jump up to the top. We're going to have a 2 versus 2 versus 3 battle between the teams. And the question is, what do some of the more single trucks go with here? It looks like McCall Motorsports, they're going to get clear of the middle as they now drop to the bottom. Cody Nagels falls into line as well. They're going to stick to the top line here as we work our way down the short chute into the front stretch for the final time. Eberhard, does he expect to move from Nagels? Gabe Butler gets loose. He's going to try to hold on. He does. Now Nagels goes back to the top. Jason Maines is going to go with him. This could be a photo finish at the line. It is going to go to Cody Nagels. Squeaks it out with the move through the tri-oval. What a win.
Unbelievable. Cody Nagels in the 24 held everybody off. He made the right moves. Jason Maines in that 19 pushed into victory.
And we have got to go back and take a look at this because it was pretty wild. That was a crazy sequence for a last lap. Let's start with TV Follow here to pick out this wreck. Yeah, as you noted, the 60 got turned by, I believe, is that Brandon Broadfoot? Ooh, that might have been some more net code. You know, it was brutal tonight, so I certainly wouldn't be shocked. Let's see. That one was close, but it did look like maybe a little net code or maybe slight contact. Either way, it gets the 60 up into the outside wall. You got guys trying to avoid it, and we're going to get some more heavy contact. Ken McCall Jr., Brandon Broadfoot, the main 2 involved in that. And then up front, they keep it really clean here. We'll zoom or speed this up for you until we get to the finish here. A couple moves here and there down the backstretch. McCall Motorsports with the winning move right here as they get clear. And Eberhard and Christopher McCall, I think maybe they both should have dropped to the bottom right there, but smart move because actually they kind of boxed the 6 in right here, kind of stalls his momentum, pushes Eberhard forward, but then Cody Nagels right here, he says, I'm not done yet. And Jason Maines, that was the man that probably decided the winner. He chose to go with Cody. He could have took it 3 wide here. Dylan Jones sticks to the bottom, gives Eberhard a push, but it's just not enough. And Cody Nagels gets the win here at Talladega.
Man, that number 90 of Daniel, I couldn't believe that. He made the biggest run at the end there. I thought he was going to get the win, but just couldn't hold off Cody with Jason pushing him. An unbelievable finish here at Talladega. It started out rough, but I'll tell you what, the end of this race was fantastic. Cody, your winner in the 24, he's going to get $100. Daniel Eberhard in the 90, he's going to get $100. Jason Maines in 3rd, he's going to get cashed out. Fantastic finish here on Tuesday.
And per usual, looks like we don't have the top 3 joining the booth. They know that would make my job just way too easy. So let's see if let's go ahead and see if we can tag everybody here in the Discord. We're gonna go silent real quick, get some things sorted out for you. We will be right back as Cody Nagels burns it down from Talladega. All right, back live here at Talladega Superspeedway. We got 2 of your top 3. Still looking for Jason Maines, so we're going to start with second place finisher instead, Daniel Eberhard. Daniel, you got a copy?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Well, a crazy race with a crazy finish. You had some strong words earlier, but you still found a way to get yourself into the podium. I guess tell us about it all.
Yeah, we didn't have to deal with Matt Lee up there in the front of the field. That's the best part about it. I got to race up there with some good friends, Christopher McCullough, Jason Maines, Dylan Jones, Cody Neagles. They all raced clean to the end. I know there's a little wreck there from Broadfoot and Merck, but you know that happens. That's part of this race, and that's what everybody else says. So we're gonna think that way, and just hopefully we can get through these wrecks, and we did. And we brought this home second place. It pays $100. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Well, it was a clean finish. Now, that move that we saw Cody make, were you expecting that? And was there any thought on trying to make a block, or did you kind of think he was maybe going to be boxed in?
Oh, no, I'm not going to make a block. It pays the same per second, man. And I knew somebody was going to get greedy and come down there and push the old Ford F-150. So, hey, we'll take second place. That's what you got to do in these things. You got to run just for the money. Don't run for first place. First place don't pay the best if you're on the hook.
All right. Well, hey, before we let you go tonight, is anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Just you, man. It's all you. BB up there doing the race control. I feel sorry for him tonight because we were all wild and out. So I feel sorry for him tonight. And just thank you to Ron Morse for putting this on. I know he's not here today, but he'll be back next week. And hopefully all the folks watching will be back also to watch the madness once again.
All right. It certainly was a fun broadcast tonight. Thanks for talking to us. Congrats on the second place finish.
Thank you.
And now we're going to bring in Cody Nagels, where Jacob Emery stands by.
Cody, do you have a copy? It's Emery in the booth.
Yes, what's up, fellas?
How are you doing? What a wild night here on a Tuesday, man. A lot of heated conversations, but hey, guess what? You were up front all day long. You got a big push by Maines. You got to the finish. How do you feel? You're walking away with $100 tonight.
Thank you. Frustration, I think, for everyone was running a little bit high, as it was me when I felt like Mollahan went under the apron and spun me and then didn't even say a word to me. So I don't know if there was intent there or not, but it made me determined just to get back up front and stay up there. I mean, I can't really control the wrecks that's going on around me, so I had to do my best to just have the truck at the end, which I did. Had the opportunity once I seen Jason clear. I figured, hell, I'll go up and see if he goes with me, and he did. So got to give Jason a shout out for the push there, and couldn't have done it without him at the end.
Yeah, you made good moves and good decisions all day long. If one driver can make it through the field from falling all the way back, it's you. You got first place tonight. Congratulations again. $100 your way. Hopefully you can do it again next week, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Cody, your winner tonight here on Tuesday Night Thunder. Austin, what did you think about this race this evening? We had everything from start to finish. I'll tell you what, the finish was fantastic. Man, everything we saw in this race, you couldn't ask for more. It was fun to be a part of this this broadcast and this race. Austin, thanks again for letting me come in here and do this.
No problem. Now, before we let you off the hook just yet, we got to go over these results. Cody Nagels, Daniel Eberhard, Jason Maines, your podium positions. We talked to 2 of those 3. Dylan Jones, 4th, with Christopher McCall finishing in your last money spot. Matthew Baker, man, heartbreak for him, was dominant the whole night. Unfortunately, just can't quite get the job done. John Ellis Jr., 7th. John Mollahan, 8th. Logan York in 9th, with David Sheets rounding out your top 10. Gabe Butler, 11th. Brock Westmoreland in 12th. Danny Barnes, 13th. David Drohan, 14th. Brendan Broadfoot in 15th. Ken McCall Jr., 16th. Ambrose Campbell, 17th. Jeff Merck, 18th. John Ward in 19th. Andrew Zonto in 20th. 21st, Matt Lee. 22nd, Ryan Bass. 23rd, Sean Hill. And Mark Vondell rounding out your field for 24 trucks here tonight. Well, you know, we talked about earlier that the broadcast may not have been as professional as usual, but I think it ended up fitting pretty well. It was certainly a fun broadcast, fun time. These guys were going crazy. I would say, if I had a note to walk away with, I would like to see these guys clean it up a bit. At the end of the day, we're all supposed to be racing here to have fun, and if you're not having fun, you're getting mad out on the track doing stuff, you probably shouldn't be here. So hopefully everybody can get their act together a little bit next week, where we hope to see you joining us back, Jacob, and we'll be coming at you with a great broadcast next week.
Yeah, I can't wait. Next week I'll be back in the booth with you, Tuesday Night Thunder, and I look forward to that night and can't wait.
All right, we'll see everybody that watched tonight. Again, hope you did enjoy. We'll see you this Thursday rather, for the PGR Blaster 120. Until then, this has been Austin Green at Ghost Racing Network. Have a good night.